Romans attack at Tabuk. My good student, Anas, the next expedition of Prophet Muhammad, may peace be upon him, happened when the Romans attacked them at Tabuk. The Romans wanted to permanently subdue the Muslims, as they had become afraid of their growing numbers. In response to this great threat, my good student, Anas, the righteous and faithful companions of Rasulullah, may peace be upon him, contributed all that they possessed, and travelled to Tabuk. We will remember how they encountered the land of the tribe of Thamud on their way, and how they recollected the story of the camel of Saleh, may peace be upon him. I will narrate to you how Allah, His Majesty, granted victory to the Muslims. So let's remember, my good student, Anas, how a united Muslim Ummah won against a massive armed force of the Roman army. Romans decide to subdue Muslims. Romans perceived the growing numbers of Muslims as a threat to their authority. They intended to vanquish and subdue them permanently. In response, Muslims decided to prepare for a journey to Tabuk. The Prophet asked for contributions, and the wealthy supported the cause. His companions donated a fortune. Abu Bakr gave away all he had, 4,000 dirhams. Uthman ben Affan donated 300 camels, and their saddles, with 10,000 dinars. Umar ben Khattab donated half of his wealth. Other companions who donated generously were Abbas, Abdurrahman ben Auf, and Saad bin Ubadah. The Prophet made Muhammad bin Maslama in charge of Medina. Ali bin Abu Talib was made responsible for women and children. In the month of Rajab, the Prophet set out for Tabuk with his 30,000 men. The journey to Tabuk. Abu Bakr, Usaid ben Hudayr, from Aus, Hubab bin Mundhir from Khazraj, and Zubayr, from the Muhajirin, were standard bearers. They had limited food supplies, and camels to ride. Ali faced a hard time, as the hypocrites taunted him. He wanted to join troops. But the Prophet said that Ali was to him, like Harun was to Musa, except that no prophet would come after him. So he returned, for the sake of the Prophet. The troops stopped at Al-Hajr, the land of Thamud, the nation of Saleh. The place reminded them of the she-camel, a sign from Allah. It was the camel who was hamstrung, and invited the wrath of Allah, His Majesty. The Prophet showed them the water that Saleh's she-camel used to drink, and asked them to draw water from there. May peace be upon him. The Muslims swiftly left the deserted place. They finally reached Tabuk, after traveling 400 kilometers. Muslims at Tabuk. Romans Recede. The Prophet's army, may peace be upon them all, reached Tabuk, and met Abu Kathama, who had stayed back in Medina. He had left Medina, in search of the Prophet's army. The Romans came to know of the great distance the army of the Prophet had traveled, and chose to recede. The Prophet stayed in Tabuk for 20 days, which intimidated the Romans further. During his stay, several other Arab tribes made peace, and some agreed to pay jizya. Some even entered into Islam. The Prophet made peace in writing. It was also during this time that Okada, of the city of Dumat al-Jandal, was captured by Khalid bin al-Walid. Okada paid in kind, in return for his freedom, and also agreed to pay jizya. 20 days had passed, and the Prophet resumed his journey to Medina.